This is the BGG Climbers for the week ending 12/2/2020. This list is put together by Michael Alexander, and I'm going to go through the top 10 this week, give my thoughts on it, and let's go. Although, if you're watching this list, please like and subscribe, and take a look at our other videos. So, below the top 10, there isn't too much exciting happening, except for we've been watching this Micro Macro Crime City. So, this is something I'm interested in seeing how it does. It's continuing solid ratings, and it's at 276. I'm really interested to see how high this can climb, given the fact that it's such a lightweight game, but looks really unique. So let's see. So let's get into number 10, Paleo. So Paleo is a cooperative game of cavemen with really good art, and I think okay gameplay. I haven't played it yet, but it seems like decently solid for like a kind of lower midweight game. Let's take a look at the ratings here. So we've been getting some more ratings on this. If it loads, there we go. So not too many really negative ones, but actually a little bit low ratings for being earlier. Getting a lot of 9s, 8s, and 7s, which you'd expect. So we'll see. I think it is a good looking game. I don't know if it's going to have staying power in terms of cooperative games. I mean, it's hard to compete with the Spirit Islands and the Pandemics of the world in the cooperative realm. So we'll see. I mean, only 293 ratings, so it's hard to judge where this is going to land, but we'll keep watching it. So it's number 10, Paleo. Number 9, Honey Buzz. So this one, I think we've seen pop up and down on the list, and this is, I think, it's a B game, and it's a lighter midweight game. I don't remember this designer. It definitely looks really good. Some of its mechanisms, I'm not like memory. I don't think is great in most board games. If you really want to play memory, you can just play the memory game. And I think a lot of board games, there's some advantage for having memorization, but it's not a mechanic that's used. This does have deduction, economic, and animals. I think the biggest thing that Honeybuzz has going for it is this look. I mean, it looks really good. The art looks amazing. The little bees look great. The little tokens are really good. I think that is probably what attracts people to this game. So we'll have to see how it. Someone's very excited for opening the Honey Buzz game, and it's got a nice insert. So maybe this one's gonna keep moving up. It doesn't. Let's see what the comments are actually saying this week. So a lot of 10s. A lot of people really like it. This or B's back to Kickstarter. So this is a Kickstarter game. Friendly enough for new gamers. So I guess everyone's getting their Kickstarters, and it delivered quickly. Kickstarted in July and arrived today. So yeah, I guess we'll have to see. This one might have potential. It's probably going to need a retail release though to move up really highly, and I don't know if they have a retail release planned at this point. Most Kickstarters deliver to their backers first. So we'll have to keep watching it. That's Honeybuzz, number 9. Number 8. So I'm not too surprised to see this on the list. It is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Now, the average is, or I guess the new ratings have come down a little bit this week, but it's still averaging pretty high. It's at 8.54. So I don't think this is going to land at number 1. I don't think it's going to beat out Gloomhaven. I think it's probably going to be fighting for the 3rd spot at best with Pandemic Legacy Season 1. We'll have to see how it does in time. I'm hoping once the pandemic's over, I'll get to play this with my group, and we'll hopefully go through the campaign and see how it is and do a review on it. So we've looked at this a few times, but I do want to look at the comments that people are putting. So devoured it in just a week. Wow. I guess maybe, and there's people giving it ones, probably people that just aren't fans of Pandemic. or the legacy aspect itself. Story element is stronger. I have heard that from the reviews. Yeah. So I think a solid game, solid entry. It's not as exciting as the previous two games. Do love the aesthetic. So I think that's one of the big things this has going for it. I don't know. I mean, I gathered that it's not as serious of a game as Season 2. Like, I haven't played Season 2 yet, but from the reviews, I felt like Season 2 is like the most, what's the word? Unique of the pandemic games. This one I think has a unique theme, but takes the mechanics and does something different with it. And I think it's fairly accessible based on the reviews. So I'm excited to play it. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think this is gonna be the number one game of all time. That's probably going to be either Gloomhaven or Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, which has been still moving up. I think we might see it later on this list. So that is number 8, Pandemic Legacy Season 0. Probably, almost certainly top 10 games, I think. But we only have 500 ratings. It's got to get closer to like 5,000 before we'll see it start moving up. So number 7, Beyond the Sun. So this is one I've been excited to see come up on the list. I thought it would based on the earlier reviews. So this game, I don't think we've seen on the top 10 climbers yet. I think we saw it last week actually for the first time. So this game, it looks really good. It's got the dice kind of from Roll for the Galaxy. I think it's Rio Grande Games published both of them. I think they use the same like artists for designing the dice, and they look very similar, right, to those. But they're used in a different way. In this game, I don't think you're rolling dice. You are actually building a tech tree, and you're trying to climb this tech tree and I think colonize planets and all this other stuff in this kind of abstracted away. Not an abstract strategy, but things that you're doing are kind of abstracted away to be a little bit more high level. It's getting amazing reviews. I can see why, because it's kind of a sweet spot of complexity for BGG. Anything in this range, there's a lot of players on BGG that will like this game. It's kind of the sweet spot of time again for this complexity. 60 to 120 minutes, under 2 hours, but over 1 hour. And it looks good. So I fully expect good things from this. As far as where it's going to land, it's a little bit too early to say. If I was to guess, we're probably looking at least top 250. And we'll have to see how it does in the coming months. So that is number 7, Beyond the Sun. Number 6, Viscounts of West Kingdom. So we talked about this a number of times. This thing is actually climbing faster than I expected. It's getting a solid 8.1-ish rating, which is pretty good. It's already moved up to rank 851. This game is kind of a modified rondel game. So I have learned a little bit more about it since then. You're essentially going to be moving your Viscount around the board. But instead of a normal rondel where it's like one direction and you basically just move around, you can kind of move in and out. And then you're going to be doing some deck building. You're going to be placing guys in the center. You're going to be collecting victory points. And there are some good things it does. I don't think I'm going to like this as much as I like Paladins. I really like Paladins. I didn't think Architects was an amazing game. I think it's a solid worker placement game that has the unique, mechanic of capturing your workers in jail. And looks good, which is also important in board games. Someone made a really nice 3D printed insert for this. I do think I'm going to plan on picking this one up, though, just because I kind of want to have the whole trilogy, and hopefully I'll pick up Tome Saga and we'll be able to play it. So where do I think this is going to land? I think this is going to be definitely top 200 games. It's moving up really quickly. It's already at 851 with, let's see how many ratings we have. Already 1,000 ratings. I think once the people start playing it after the holidays, after they get their Christmas presents, it's probably going to move up. It seems to be really solidly, for 2 months, basically 8.1-ish. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I think this one is definitely top 200, maybe top 100 possibility. We'll have to watch it in the coming weeks and see how it does. says Viscounts of the West Kingdom. Number 5, High Frontier for All. So this game is, the Kickstarters are just being delivered. I posted a video done by Samuel teaching this game, and it's been moving up pretty quickly as expected, because all the big High Frontier fans are going to be getting their copies. They're going to be playing it for the first time and rating it. The feedback I've gotten from Samuel and other people that have played High Frontier previously, 3rd edition, it's kind of a streamlined version with modules to expand it to make it as complex or whatever as you want, and probably more modules to come. There seems to be really cool stuff you can do in the future. I will be doing an unboxing video here soon. The look of the game I've heard is really good. I'll find out when I unbox it. I haven't done that yet. And I think the fact that it's built into these modules, where if you want, you could just get the base game and play just the base game with module 0, I think comes in it. You can add module 1. You can add module 2. You can add module 3 and play more advanced games of it. I do think that Samuel's explanation of it is the best one I've seen. He did a really good job explaining this game and made it much more accessible. All the other explanations I saw, just there were certain things that just were not clear that this is the way you do it and this is the easiest way to do it. And he goes over all that in the video. So if you're interested in this game, it's worth taking a look at that. It is kind of long, but it's a complex game and there's a lot going on. There's actually a lot to think about. And it's definitely not a game for everyone. You're going to potentially lose your ship on a dice roll. And it's one of those type of games you have to go in knowing that. And you have to be willing to accept some sort of risk. If you want to do well in this game, you can't just play it safe. Very rarely will you have the opportunity to build the perfect rocket and play it safe. I will say it felt to me like Kerbal Space Program. That's pretty awesome. Kerbal Space Program board game. That's kind of what it felt like to me. Putting together random parts, building a rocket, trying to colonize things. So, very complex game. And I'll probably eventually do a review for it. And it looks like it's even on Amazon now. So there you have it. That is High Frontier for All. And that is number 5. I'm not going to comment on where this is going to land. It's just too early, but we'll have to see how the ratings go when regular people get in their hands. So number 4, Red Cathedral. So we talked about this before. So this is interesting. This game is kind of takes the rondel mechanic and changes it up a little bit. It's very accessible, so I fully expect this to sell a lot of copies. It's, I think, $35 retail, which is really an amazing price point for a game that looks this good and that plays this well. Is that I don't know if it's a cloth or game board or just regular game board, but it's a small box game, or not regular. Yeah, it's a game board. It's got some good looking pieces. These wooden pieces look great. The artwork's good, or looks good. I just think it's got a lot of replayability. It's got this kind of unique rondel mechanic that kind of reminds me of Teotihuacan, except for you're sharing the same dice in the rondel. So kind of what a person does matters a little bit more than in Teotihuacan. And with the random setup, I just think a lot of people are going to... I fully expect this to get nominated, I think, for the Kennerspiel, but we'll see. I don't see how it doesn't. It's just... It's really got everything going for it. And I do think this is going to hit... I guess with the amount of ratings here for it, it's hard to predict exactly where it's going. It's definitely going to be top 200. I don't see it not hitting there. And it's possibly top 100 type game, especially if it wins the Kennerspiel. So that is the Red Cathedral. Now, number 3, Etherfields. This is a regret of mine for not backing. I instead put the Kickstarter on the Great Wall and decided not to go in on it. So I just I was kind of iffy on that one. and I didn't back this one, and I would have backed this with a full pledge, especially the fact that I think it came out quicker. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. They're going to probably have a second Kickstarter for this, I would assume. So, you never know with Awaken Realms, but I think because this one did really well, or at least they'll open up the pledge manager at some point. Let's see here. So if you're not aware, this is a dream adventure game. I don't know exactly how it plays. Other than that, it has amazing looking miniatures. It's kind of got this like weird dream horror vibe. Kind of I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it kind of looks like a horror game in some ways. And probably because your dreams are sometimes nightmares, right? I think Awaken Realms has an amazing hit here. I think maybe the reason I didn't back it was I didn't think there was enough miniatures to justify the price point that they were getting. I mean, they're complicated miniatures, but it just wasn't like the sheer number of miniatures. And at the time, I also had backed Tainted Grail, which is another game I haven't played, so I was like, well, I should hold off on that. So Etherfields here. I don't think this is a nemesis here. I don't think it's going to hit the top 100, board games all time. Maybe if Shut Up and Sit Down does a review of it. It is getting really high ratings today, but this will probably trail off as more copies get in their hand. It's probably definitely top 200 at least, assuming they have enough copies. That's number 3, Etherfields. Number 2, Altar Quest. So we talked about this one last week, so I'm going to kind of speed through it. This is a modern dungeon crawl that has a few, I guess it's based on some previous IP or previous system, and they've kind of expanded it. It's a cooperative game with, I mean, it looks like a Hero Quest board, which maybe is what they were going for. I guess the art looks pretty good. It looks to me like it's just your standard battle, or you're going to roll some dice, you're going to have some equipment with some really cool looking minis if you paint them. I'd say the artwork looks good. I don't expect this one to do amazing. I expect it to do okay, especially after all the backers get all their copies. So I don't see this one ending up in I don't see Altar Quest ending up in the top 100 games by any means. I think this one will peter out after the backers get their stuff, but I've been wrong before. So that is number 2, Altar Quest, and number 1, Fossils. So I haven't seen this game, or Fossilis. So let's take a look. What is this? Looks like a dexterity game. Let's look at the let's look at the mechanics here. Set collection, tile placement, animals, dinosaurs. Interesting. So this is dinosaur graveyard has been discovered. Treasure trove, fossil and bones. In Fossilis, your paleontologist working with shovels, brooms, chisels to find what could make their career. So you can make an extraction or dig at the site. Interesting. It's kind of a lightweight game. I guess it looks good for what it is. It's got little meeples. These tiles should have been, I don't know. I feel like if you're a Kickstarter and you're doing a design, you shouldn't be using stickers on cubes. And this is one of the things where I was really disappointed with. Yeah, so this looks better. Yeah, so I guess that was just their prototype. They did the inlaid. They got rid of the stickers, which is the right way to do it. Yeah, so this looks good. Which is actually my problem with the way Wonderland's War is doing their chips. Hopefully they rethink it and do inlaid poker chips for their premium edition instead of stickers on them. I think it's going to be way better for their backers. But these fossil parts look good. The little diggers look good. So I guess that other one was a prototype. This is the final version. Wow. The art looks okay, but this sort of board looks really cool. I wonder what this thing's going to retail for. You have little tweezers, so you have to do your digs and stuff. This looks interesting. I don't think this is going to hit, like, really high, but it's kind of it's a game where if it's priced low enough, I guess the deluxe copy, it's in the Geek Game Shop, I guess. If it's priced right enough, people might pick it up to play with their kids or with their gaming group. It plays pretty quick, so we'll have to keep a look on it. I don't expect big things from this, but whoever designed it made a really good looking fossil game. So there you have it. That is the top 10 board game climbers for the week of 12/2, or a week ending in 12/2/2020. If you like this video, please please subscribe. You can take a look at the Geeklist. The link is in the description. Thank you.